Hey Virgo, so I'm doing a Mercury in retrograde reading, that's why you're here. These are short and sweet, so I'm just going to do this really quickly, get it over and done with, because it's retrograding tomorrow. So it's just a 3 card insight into what is kind of what you're dealing with, what you're working with, and bearing in mind it will affect people differently depending on individual circumstances and how well you've been listening to your own kind of guide and any other advice that's come your way this year. If you've been listening and working on yourself, we're good to go. You're good. You're golden, right? So you think. And if not, then, things are going to come up because Mercury is the planet of communication. So it's going to communicate what needs to change. Where you have been ignoring, what you've been suppressing, it's kind of going to come to the surface during this time, right? So let's see what's in store for you. Interesting. So I've kind of been getting the same card. I was going to do kind of like earth sign readings, fire sign readings. I was like, no, okay, I will do each one. We'll just do a quick video. But you've kind of been getting the same sort of cards. So your last 2 cards are different, so that's good. But you have got the same as Capricorn transcending, which means you really are growing this year. In the same way as Capricorn, I feel like everything you've been through this year, it kind of like has been building you to this moment for you to really grow and change. I feel like that's kind of being pushed at you. So if you are somebody who fights change, doesn't like change because, as an earth sign, change is kind of scary. Change is unknown sometimes, and we like to know, we like to be grounded, and this year there's been very little groundedness at least for myself. That's how I felt. My life has changed quite dramatically as well. I kind of get this sense of you flying towards your independence. That is a major theme at the moment as well with all the planetary alignments. So I do feel like this could come up, like you could be in a kind of situation or scenario where you are feeling much more free, more independent. I do kind of want you to see like what that means for you. Where do you not feel as though you are free? What needs changing? It actually feels as though there are great insights for you during this time. I want to say look up to the stars, look to nature if not stars. I feel like nature is really nurturing you at this moment, and kind of can put you in, like for me, when I'm in nature, if I go on a hike, a walk or something like this, I really come out of it glowing and full of inspiration, and I feel like this is what it's giving me for you for this transcending. I feel like it's really putting you into a place where you're like, yeah, I do need change, and it's a positive thing, and it does feel positive. It feels as though you are really being pulled towards that though, as though it's going to happen pretty quick. It might not necessarily be something that's like a massive change. I just feel like there's something in you that's just going to kind of flick and switch and go, yeah, mine changed. I want it this way. This is how I do. It's just something like that. I hope that makes sense to you, Virgo. And the next card is Mystic Meadow, Sanctuary. Definitely getting nature vibes. Look at this imagery. So I'm getting kind of community, friendships, kind of good times in nature. I do feel like if you could do some kind of celebrating, whether it be going out to dinner, I do feel like for somebody watching this could be kind of getting together with friends to eat. I want to say as well, I can kind of feel like an Aussie barbecue vibe as well. I'm in Australia, so it makes sense. But it's giving me that coming together. Because when Aussies have barbecues, especially with friends and family, it's about coming together and just kind of being together, being there in the moment, kind of talking through things. And sometimes like it's where lives are changed in some of those talks and those conversations, because it's just you and your mates having a drink around a fire as well. Like I'm getting that kind of vibe of this being a space where you can kind of get something out or maybe help you direct you in the right way as well, perhaps. But there's growth. Again, there's trees in this nature. I'm getting growth, fertility, and this can be ideas, but I just feel like something is changing and brewing and growing with you during this time. And it does feel really positive. I am not getting any negative from these readings so far. And everyone puts Mercury retrograde in a negative light, but I mean, I don't. I do see the disruptions sometimes until it's happening to me and I'm just like, fuck's sake. But like I do see them as being actually very productive because it does get you in a space where you want change because you've had enough of the disruptions, right? And yeah, this just feels really positive. Spirit guardian of winter retreat. So it's definitely a time for relaxing and enjoying yourself for sure. This spirit guardian actually kind of gives me the sense of being in the now and focus on what's within and what kind of makes you feel at peace, feel comfort and home. I do feel like this change, again, like I said, when we have changes as earth signs, it can make us be like, oh, I need to retreat. I do feel like this is just a time where you actually just want to kind of be in the moment. I do get this homely feel of the sense of being around loved ones. And that being perhaps what needs to change. Perhaps you don't spend enough time with family, and that's a change here as well for some of you, because I just get this sense of you, something social, something to do with either people you love, family, friends, relationships, just something you love being something that's guiding towards like a realization of what you actually want more of in your life. So pay attention to that. I feel like Mercury in retrograde for you, Virgo, if I was to briefly, round this up, I would say that there's moments here that are going to point you in the direction of where your time is better valued, or where you might feel as though you want to put your time in. Pay attention to that and work towards that. That's what I would say. Thank you so much, Virgo, for being here. Great reading. Check out your monthly reading if you haven't already. It is up. Thank you so much for following me, and I will see you next month.